In the fires of battle, a mighty war boss was forged. One of guile and cunning, where others know only brutality. No force can best this green tide. The annihilator of armies. Destroyer of empires. Gorbad Ironclaw now claims his place as the greatest of all war bosses.
Get ready for proper mayhem, lads. More claws itching for some mangling.
Hello, monsters abound here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires, and a video sponsored by War Thunder, but more on that later. And the new legendary lord, Gorbad Ironclaw. There he is. What a guy. Yeah, the bestest orc war boss. This guy does come with a brand new mechanic, as you would expect. And his mechanic is he's got plans, he's got schemes, he's got tactics. Now, I should have another video out now, probably, which kind of goes into each of these plans one at a time and sort of explains what they do, how you unlock them. But we'll give a quick rundown just in case you're not 100% sure. So we have Gorbad Ironclaw here. We have a new resource called Plans. Plans can be gained by fighting battles. Each of Gorbad's armies has 3 slots. You can equip one of his tactics. These require different unlock mechanics. So for example, this one we need to research better arrowheads. This one we need to kill 750 enemies with troll units. You get the idea. All kinds of fun things to do there. Some of these are easy to unlock. Some of them are pretty hard. Depends. Not all the really good ones have particularly hard unlock, and not all the really hard to unlock ones are particularly good. It just sort of depends. So you can spend your plans, your resource, to slot one of your tactics into one of these slots. You'll notice that there's 3 slots here, but we only have one available at the moment. We're going to get another one at level 15 and another one at 25. And the reason we get that is because Gorbad, and in fact all of Gorbad's generals, all his lords, any confederated lords will all have this particular skill over here, following the plan, which are level 15, and this is an auto unlock, so you'll get this automatically. You don't need to spend a skill point. We'll unlock a skill slot, tactic slot, and we will also get more duration for them. And then again, we'll get another slot there and more duration. And then finally, we get infinite duration because your tactics will only last for a set amount of turns. So for example, if we were to slot Gorbad's boys, that has a duration of 3 turns and a cooldown of 1 turn, and it's going to cost 1 plan to equip. Now, we already have some unlocked here already, but you'll notice that some of them we can't use because we do not have the unit requirement met, because you need certain numbers of units to be able to use these tactics. So for example, for Gorbad's boys, we need 1 Gorbad and we need 2 units of orc boys, which means if you have any other army which doesn't have Gorbad in it, you cannot use this tactic because you don't have a Gorbad. For example, this one, light 'em up, you need any kind of missile unit, and then you need a unit of squigs. This one will enable flammable attacks for your squig herd units, reducing fire resistance on enemies they attack, and it also give your missile units flaming attacks. You get the idea how that's supposed to work. So, depending on what tactic and units we have available, we can make our armies particularly killy. Some of these are really, really nice. Some of them are fairly sort of just general, but good. For example, Regimental here is going to give you extra campaign movement range, upkeep reduction, and vigor loss. Just nice to have. It's just a nice one to have. All you need to get that one is to complete a call to war. Pretty easy. You're going to do that anyway, right? Pretty straightforward. Some of them are slightly trickier. So, for example, where's one that's kind of a ball ache to do? This one here. So, win 50 battles with Gorbad Ironclaw. Now, you might be thinking, well, that seems fairly straightforward. But think about it. Most Total War campaigns kind of peter out about 100 turns, right? Which means you'd need to fight a battle, well, every other turn for that to hit by the end of the campaign. And by that you get Vanguard deployment, which is no bad thing, and also the Master Planner, which makes every unit everywhere. It makes all of your units, in fact, unbreakable and immune to flanking. I mean, that's pretty good, but you're going to have to do a lot of battles with Gorbads to unlock that. That's going to be pretty tricky. Some of them give you new effects. So, for example, if we look at... Where is it? No, not Surprise Savagery. Sneaky Rogues. There we go, Sneaky Rogues. So, for this one, you need Night Goblin units. I believe it's 3, any Night Goblin units, and a Rogue Idol. This will allow you to use tunneling to engage the enemy in battle, which means you can basically underway on their heads and attack them in a fight. It's not the ambush like the teleport, but it does increase your ambush success chance, so could be worse. So there we go. So all kinds of fun things we can do there. Gorbad himself has traits. He is the Great Leader, which gives upkeep reduction. Very nice. We also get Orxa the Best, which is going to increase base weapon damage, armor piercing weapon damage, and melee attack for everyone in range. We also got Gorbad's War, which is, I'm not 100% sure what difference that is from the normal War, but I'm sure it's fine. Meanwhile, Gorbad's faction traits are: we get access to the plans, we get improved rewards from successfully completing a war, we get more income from raising settlements, and global recruitment duration is reduced, which is, again, all fine. Nothing too exciting there, but overall, not bad. So we start off with that guy. We get an Orc Shaman. He's cunning, which is actually not the worst thing to have. You know what? Comparatively, not bad. We're going to pop him in this army. Get some scouting done. Let's look for a quick look at Gorbad's skills. So he gets Nala, a mount to ride around on. We also get Gorbad's War, which is a chance of containing big... So his War has a chance to contain bigger and boar units. Quite nice. We also have Ears to Plan, which is going to give us a nice little buff there, and more experience gain for all characters, which is going to speed up getting more plans, more research rate, which is fine. We've also got Boys to the Front, which is going to increase melee, infantry, attack, defense, and weapon strength, just faction-wide, which is very nice. We also get Shooters to the Back, which is only going to affect our army, but increases missile strength, ammunition, and also gives us Dig In, which increases, Jesus Christ, 50% range, that's pretty good. Riders on the Flank, again, only for our army, is going to give our cavalry Strider, more speed and more charge bonus, very nice, and our Lead to Charge is going to give us Glorious Charge. It's going to give a charge bonus. The Great Leader there, which is going to affect everyone within 35 meters for melee attack and defense, very, very nice. And also, let's go to the War, which is going to reduce upkeep for all War mob units, give them Frenzy, and also it's going to be a vigor loss reduction there as well. It's just pretty good. Like, there's nothing bad there. He's just a nice, fun lord. Now, he does basically take the place of Grimgor for Warhammer 1 and 2, where we start at Black Crag. But that does mean we start with the Gold Mine, which is no bad thing. And we also have access to Dork's Rock, which is going to give us income from post-battle loot, all that kind of good stuff. We do need to reach tier thingy-majig 5 to get that, though, which is fine. We are going to equip a tactic. I think we're going to grab...
There's never a bad time to split some heads.
That's very true, Gorbad. That is very, very true. I think we're just going to go with Gorbad's Boys. Boom. We're going to slot that one in there. We're going to get some more money as well. Thank you very much. It's a nice pat on the back. It's basically a participation prize, isn't it? I'm going to fight the first... Jesus Christ. Let's start with a giant. Get out of here. First battle of a brand new campaign. It's got that new campaign battle smell. It kind of smells of cunningly brutal plans. Whatever that smells like. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome. And also well done for making it this far. Gorbad over here, who I'm going to be honest, looks a bit Orc War Boss generic, doesn't it? Unfortunately, there's not much you can do about that. I think Orc War Bosses just look like Orc War Bosses. Anyway, Gorbad says that you should definitely subscribe to the channel, just FYI. Also, that you should look both ways before crossing the road, because although Gorbad may well be the biggest, baddest, fightiest orc in the history of the Warhammer world, even Gorbad knows that the real battle is for teaching children correct traffic safety. Over here you see my Shaman. You might be wondering why he's currently jogging his way towards the front line. Almost looks like I forgot to deploy him, doesn't it? Yes. Yes, it does look like that. But how could that be when I am a consummate professional? Exactly. Couldn't happen, could it? Now, obviously, the giant's going to be the biggest problem. I would like a giant. I love giants. I think giants are great, and I would love it if we could confederate this faction and get the giant. Unfortunately, this army will, upon defeat, die anyway, so there's not much we can do about it. All of the orc spells have had a bit of an upgrade as well, so we should see that Oh, Wells. Yeah, Gazer Mork. Even though we've only got Gazer Mork, that was 38 kills. Admittedly, it was goblins, but still, that was an absolute beating those Gorbos took, which is all they deserve. Quite right, too. Gorbad getting stuck in. That's what we like to see. Victory is already within our grasp. The Giants being kept busy, and the Goblin Bolt Throwers. There's 8 of these things in a unit, at least at the maximum unit size, which is quite nice. They're not very strong, but they are pretty good at taking out large targets, like a Giant. However, the Giant has managed to break through my front line and is now heading towards my archers. Oof. Skadoosh. Also, apparently splash attacks have changed. So the way splash attacks now work is that any entity with a splash attack will hit the number of entities based on its weapon strength. So for every 100 weapon strength, it'll hit another entity. So if you have 700 weapon strength, you'll hit 7 people, for example. There we go. Interesting little tidbit. Now would be a good time to hear from our sponsor. I mean, you can always skip it if you want. Do you like taking tanks, helicopters, planes, and ships of war out for a spin, but the local military base commander has stopped returning your calls? Well, instead of trying to infiltrate and steal a piece of military hardware which can lead to the government declaring you a threat to national security, play War Thunder instead. You can play War Thunder on PC, consoles, even mobile, which is frankly black magic, for free. I genuinely think it's mind-bending you can get a game that looks this good on a mobile device that you can fit in your pockets, let alone that you can play it for free. A vast arsenal of 2,500 helicopters, ships, planes and tanks from over 10 major nations. You've got the most modern of military tech, such as main battle tanks and fighter jets, going up against biplanes, which is usually an indication your Civilization game isn't going as well as you'd hoped. Meticulously detailed vehicles and stunning visuals will really help you jump into War Thunder's immersive battles, which have my favourite feature of War Thunder, which is the X-ray display of your shots punching through enemy armour and the damage it causes inside. Oh, that always feels good, even when it happens to you. A global community of over 70 million players are waiting to attempt to blow you to smithereens or be blown up in turn. If you're a fan of intense combat, a military history enthusiast, or someone who wants to drive a tank with a waifu cosmetic skin, or the nearly impossible to imagine overlapping portion of a Venn diagram of the three, War Thunder will offer you unparalleled depths of quality content to explore. If that sounds up your tank barrel, then you can play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile devices by using the links in the description of this video. New and returning players on PC and consoles that haven't played in 6 months also get a bonus pack across all platforms that includes such goodies as premium vehicles, an Eagle of Valor vehicle decorator, which is sure to impress the ladies, 100,000 silver lions plus 7 days of premium account, limited time only, so hop into War Thunder today. A good start. Now, he is not the leader of that faction. If we beat up the leader of the Orc faction, of course, we will be able to confederate with them. So, we're going to start by taking Iron Rock. It says medium casualties there, which means that's going to be really rough. So let's level Gorbad up first. I'm going... do I want to make him inspiring? I do kind of want to make him inspiring. Yeah, let's make him inspiring. That's right. Right, in we go. At least this time, I remembered to deploy my shaman. We're not looking at where the archers are, okay? That's a social contract between me and you. We're not... Stop judging me. Anywho, I'm gonna gaze and mork you so hard. Eventually, once my archers get out the way. Boom! Oh, yeah! How many kills? 30. I like it. I like it. And the bolt thrower is doing reasonable work. It's actually got 30 kills as well. You know what? Fair play. Fair play. The Boar Boys fighting some Goblin Wolf Riders. The problem with the Boar Boys is their melee attack is absolutely terrible. Also, can we just enjoy that they've added the vigor onto your stats now, so you can actually see what effect vigor's having? Oh, yes. Thank you, finally. That was in Troy and Pharaoh, but it took them over 3 Total War Warhammer games before they decided to put it in. But it's there now. How exciting. So that's good. We like this. We like this a lot. It's hot green on green action. So hot you can't even see who's fighting who, unless they're smaller boys like these goblins. Very nice. You know what? We're taking more damage than I would like. These goblins have actually meant they are warring. He's killed quite a few guys. Gorbad chasing after some goblins, manages to run into some archers and starts wailing on them instead. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, Auto Resolve definitely would have hurt more. I'm kind of tempted to take the money, but I'm just going to occupy. Ooh, a Power Stone. Could come in handy. Not the worst. Right, we're going to start off. Obviously, we're going to go the boys. Let's. And you know what? Gaze of Mork, actually, not going to lie, pretty legit. It is pretty legit. I do want some more squig herds. Tell you what, we'll get another squig herd and get 2 more boys. Let's go with that. Right, we've got money there, which is fine. Recruitment there, which is fine. More growth there, which is fine. Now, if we can find the faction leader, if we can find Spite and we can kick his head in, then he will roll over for us. Although, to be fair, he's only got 2 settlements, which means it's not going to be that difficult to get him to roll over for me anyway. You may notice that the greenskin tech tree has changed a little bit. It's still mostly the same towards the front, but the rear has sort of got a little bit more, I don't know, pointy, I guess. So you've now got all of the unlocks for your scrap is down here. So you spend scrap to unlock scrap, and so you don't have to spend any of the scrap. You used to be able to spend scrap, didn't you? I genuinely can't remember. Anyway, we'll get more melee attack and leadership for the boys.
I got some ideas.
That's nice, Gorbad. Now, you may notice that we have gained two plans from fighting 2 battles. That's handy, isn't it? But we've spent 1, but that's gonna you know, we got 3 turns. We've got 3 turns of bits. 3 turns of tactics. We need to make the most of it. And of course, our war counter will be ticking up. I do find that Gorbad's war counter does... You spend more time warring than in not warring, so you can't... The Greenskins have the inbuilt buddy system. I always say you should have 2 armies travelling together, because 2 armies together can take out any number of enemy armies. Greenskins, when they're warring, have that inbuilt. They get a buddy anyway, which is really useful. It does seem to nuke their movement speed for some reason, but in spite of that, it's quite nice. Is that Spite? Spite? Spite! It's you! I mean, that will take all the effort out of having to take a Doc Karaz. I'm going to have to go over there. Everybody wins. Well, apart from you, of course, because you'll be dead. We've got a nice... You know what? We've had some interesting maps here. Sometimes they're just big flat plains. But this one, look at this. Got a got some holes. I love holes. Holes are some of my favourite things. wonder if what the fuck is with Zativ? Zativ? It's not a fucking orc name. Zativ? What's going on with that? Zativ. Like Zorgrat, I could get behind. Zativ does not sound very orky. Anyway, coal muncher. I don't know what coal is. We should stop munching it. Anyway, we'll give him a better name. I'll mull that over. Anyway, so we've got a bunch of goblins and orcs heading this way. I'm wondering if maybe we could get a nice gaze of Mork. Currently, we've got. Okay, that was pretty nice. He's up to 91 kills with 2 gaze of Morks, taking 2 chunks out. Liking that a lot. Meanwhile, on the flank, we've got our boar boys. The problem with boar boys is they're quite slow. With only 70 speed, it's not great. I mean, the Swig Herd are slightly slower. But the board chariots have a speed of 77. And why is that? That's because they're very tired at 13. I think these guys were marching, which is not great. And because of that, we'll be able to catch them pretty easily. And with any luck, kick the shit out of them. Although the fact that the chariots have got the similar melee attack... Well, no, so they got terrible. Look, they only got -4 because they're very tired. Because that's what Vigor does. See? Makes you tired. Tuckers you out. Right, some goblins have decided to sit in my path and just take arrows directly to the face. Which is a bold play, Cotton. We do have units currently flanking around these holes. We've got some orc boys. And, oh yes, we've got some Goblin Wolf Riders currently advancing on our orc boys. But these boys have got spears. So, the worm hath turned. Because we've got some nice bonus. How much bonus versus large? We got 14. Holy shit. This Goblin Wolf Rider is going to get wrecked, son. Did the big and little war spells get visual upgrades? Because I feel like they did, but I haven't played Greenskins in a while, so I'm not 100% sure. But I definitely feel like they have. The good news here is that once we've won this battle, and we will win, we will get the chance to confederate with Spite's faction, although that's really only going to give us an additional settlement. But you know what? Never look a gift goblin in the mouth. Because he's probably trying to steal your wallet. Or shank you. Our boars are not going to charge into those goblin spears because they have actually given goblins anti-large these days. Back in the old day, they didn't have any anti-large, but they do now, and I do not want to go and charge into them. I think that would be a very bad idea. So our orc boars are in fact going to just give them the slip, come around here and help out the flank. So we have the upper hands. Gorbad backing up his lads. We've got 38 weapon strength. Very nice. Mind you, these guys have got 85 kills. Really? Really? How did you kill so many? Oh well. The nice thing about orcs is there's always more. Spite's army is on the run. He himself is currently surrounded by squigs, which is not indicative of healthy living. I don't think he's going to stick around for much longer, considering that his army has been absolutely decimated. The monster man, I think you'll find that decimation means 10%. Shh, 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 shh. Okay. Gorbad's moving up to beat up Spite, but it looks like Spite's had enough. He doesn't want any more. He's done. He's gone. As is his faction, because it's now our faction, because we've proved we're the best boss. The biggest and the baddest. I'll just take it. We'll just grab it. Now, do we want to confederate with the... I mean, yeah, obviously. I don't even know what there's these... Why would you execute... Yeah, right, kill him permanently. Who cares? Also, diplomatic relations. Just confederate. I mean, even if you sell the settlements or just burn them to the ground, it's definitely a better option. Anyway,
Leading the greatest
what happens if you do kill him? I guess someone else takes over. How does that work that out? Oh well. Shall we take headbutt? Let's take headbutt. Let's grab an headbutt.
Here we go.
Slotting pump wagon, maybe. I'm not against the slotting pump wagon. The only thing I think is that it's quite expensive. It does wreck unit formations. I just think I'm going to grab some squigs instead, because our next target's probably going to be dwarves, and dwarves have a lot of armor, and squigs have big teeth. You can see where I'm going with this. We could grab some trolls as well, couldn't we? Yeah, let's grab a troll. You can't go wrong with trolls. Eager to fight. Damn right we are. Got an entire stack now? Where did we get an entire stack from? Down with that kind of thing. What we could do, and probably what should we got a new Savage Orc Shaman. Now, do we want a Savage Orc? Maybe? Maybe? I do like a Night Goblin though. I'm a big Night Goblin fan. Nasher? Yes you are. Right, you hop in there a sec, alright? You just keep a lid on things. Let's grab... Yeah. I want some boys. Let's grab some boys. Okay, here's the plan. We declare war on them. We try and draw them out. Should be fine. Maybe we go Fist of Gork, because that'll make you more melee attack and defense. Obviously, spells, not that effective against dwarves. They tend to be a little bit magic resistant, don't they? Bigger wagons, heavy metal, more armor and weapon strength for orcs. Yes, please.
I got some ideas.
Of course, we do have scrap, so we could spend scrap, couldn't we? Now, not on those though. You can actually now give them more than one piece of equipment. However, the cost per upgrade goes up the more upgrades they have. So, although you can give them all the upgrades, it's going to cost a buttload of scrap if you want to do that. So, you know, you can buff a few elite units out the wazoo, which is the best place to be buffed. However, you won't be, you know, spreading the love, which is also quite nice to do. Nice to have the love spread over you in a thin film. Let's see if we can lure these little buggers out. So the best way to do this is to march you, because they will see this marched unit, and they will think, oh, we can take that. So if we do something like this, should be fine. Probably want to slot now. We haven't. So we're on cooldown for a turn. We could go with Erd Mentality potentially. So what this does, it reduces upkeep for squigs. Pretty nice. It will also so it gives them an Erd Mentality passive ability, which increases their melee defense and damage resistance up to 40. Now I know for a fact that this is 10% intensity per unit of squigs. So if all of our squigs are together, we will have 40% intensity, because the unit itself doesn't count, and so it'll be the other unit. So we'll get 10% for each additional. So all of them together, they'll all have 40%, which is not bad. But I mean, if you get 10 squigs together, 40 melee defense on top of that. That means they'll have 60 fucking melee defense. Not to mention 40% additional damage resistance. And they'll also be unbreakable. Like, you will not be able to kill those things. It will be a nightmare. It'll be a logistical nightmare to deal with that shit. It'll be hilarious. So, do we declare... Oh, we can upgrade you. Oh, yes, yes. Nope, hang on. There we go. Yep, there we go. Right. I'm declaring war. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare an orc war. Well, with dwarves. Will we get spotted? That's the question. If they spot us, they won't come after us. They did not spot us. That is deeply unfortunate for them. Oh, I love a good ambush. I love it when a plan comes together as well. I just assume we get spotted, but no, everything's coming up Millhouse. The Orc Boar Boys, I've buffed them with Fist of Gork, which means they've got 48 melee attack and 50 melee defense, which makes them respectable. Good job, guys. And as such, they've managed to mow their way through those grudge throws before they got any hits in. Main danger here, of course, is that we do not have much in the way of armor piercing except for the squigs, who I kind of held in reserve and brought them in to attack the rear of the enemy army. But our orcs in general, although their weapon strength is pretty high, they don't have an all of armor piercing, which means these dwarves will be able to grind them down through sheer attrition. Gorbad going after the enemy general, and that's working out pretty well. The enemy general is getting his head kicked in, which is good. Dwarf lords do tend to be very hard to kill. But Gorbad seems to have the upper hand there, which is great. By and large, most dwarf armies won't even begin to break until their general is dead. I didn't do the urge mentality tactic because I wanted to use Gorbad's boys again next turn, and it would have been a kind of a waste. Although, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have. The squigs would have been a lot more tankier then. Would have survived better. Oh well. Never mind, all worked out in the end. The dwarves are routed, the enemy general is dead. Now we just need to use our squigs to hunt down as many of these dwarves as possible to make sure they don't run back to their settlements, replenish and start recruiting more dwarves. Oh, that was a good ambush. We are definitely going to take the replenishments. And you just ran. You legged it. You are gone. You're out of here. Sayonara, suckers. Okay. I feel like I could do with another thingy-majig capital. So let's slot Gorbad's boys. And let's move in to take my new house. Victory. I mean, I can definitely medium casualties. I think I should, unless I want to sit here for the next 5 turns replenishing, I should probably just fight this one. Not to mention the fact that it doesn't have defenses yet, which is good. Good. Right. So we're going to take Barak Var. We're going to send our new little night goblin lad, who I need a name for. I'll mull that over. To recruit some squigs, and then go and defend our other settlement, because I saw Barak Var was recruiting another army. Easy! That's how it's done. That's going to have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. But before we roll the outro, a final thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Please check them out, as it helps the channel and more continue these shenanigans. You can play War Thunder free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox or mobile using the links in the description. Those of you who haven't played War Thunder yet or are returning after a break of at least 6 months will receive a massive bonus pack on PC and consoles, including premium vehicles, 100,000 silver lions and 7 days of premium account. Give it a spin.